Welcome dear students. I am your English teacher Mr. Oskan from Bharathidhasanar Matric Higher Secondary School. I am much delighted to be with you all and feeling one with you through this video session. Today we are going to see a new part where the prose part comes from 7th standard English. It is in Samachir Kalvi textbook. Anyhow, the title of today is, it's going to be a story. It is prescribed for us in the prose part. The topic is here Eidgah. Eidgah refers to the place where the Muslims used to do their worship. That is what I have written in Tamil. Tolugai Maidanam. Yes, fine. So before entering this, the whole story, let's know something about the writer and how it has been prescribed for us in a grand manner. You must know that this story it is written by Munshi Premchand. Munshi Premchand is a person that actually it has been written by him, but later it was translated by a person called by Uma Raman. So that is how the story comes, because by seeing the title itself, we come to know that it is something, it is going to speak about one of the festivals. Dear students, what are the different festivals we have got? India has a culture. It is always famous for unity in diversity. Though there are diversion in religions, the diversion in cultures, the diversion in approach or all types of food habits and things like that, we have got a uniqueness called unity in diversity. Anyhow, what are the famous festivals do we have got in our life? Yes, in our culture, in our state, in our nations, the whole of the nations, we have got a few of the famous festivals. Just like we have got Diwali, that is celebrated in the month of October and November, where it is a symbol for, in order to give more the cultural aspect, so that celebration is celebrated by the people all over the world. So especially in India, Diwali is grandly celebrated, and Pongal also, that is celebrated in the month of Jan. So they said it is the feast of harvest. So the people from all over especially the southern part of state, that is Tamil Nadu itself, Pongal is very famous and that we celebrate. So it helps us to have the cultural aspect of it. Is a symbol of nurturing our own culture. And Bakrid is one of the famous feast or festival we celebrate. No, it has been celebrated by the Muslim people, and Bakrid, it varies from year to year. Anyhow, this Bakrid, it gives importance to have a universal brotherhood. So that is how they give the importance for the fraternity, the brotherhood and things like that. Christmas is one of the famous feasts celebrated by the Christians. It is always celebrated only on December 25th, where they talk something about the importance for the love and peace of the whole world. And at last we have got the festival Onam, where we happen to celebrate in the states, other states. It is celebrated in the month of August and September. Dear students, what is your favorite festival? If I ask you, how do you celebrate those festivals? Yes, with whom do you celebrate? If all these questions are asked, you will have plenty of answers to be shared. Yes, I wish that you have your sharing with your friends in the class, or you can also have your sharing with all the other friends in your family members. Dear students, after seeing these festivals, our prime concern is going to be on the festival of Eid. So whenever we celebrate our Muslim friends, we call them as a happy Eid, Eid Mubarak. That is a word, that is a sentence we wish them by saying that. So Eid is the festival of breaking fast by Muslims at the end of 29th or 30th day of the completion, where we celebrate in the mood of festive mood, and there is a lot of sharing, there is a lot of care by the Muslim people. Even they share their food and their joy and happiness with all the other religious people like us. Students, let's move to this part. Munshi Premchand is the writer name. Actually, his original name is Dhanapar Roy Sri Vastava. So that is his original name, but he used this Munshi Premchand as his pen name for all his writings. So he is born on 31st July 1880 and he died in the year 18 October 1936. He has been identified as the most important writer, world famous writer, especially the Indian writer, and famous for his modern Hindi Urdu literature. So he has contributed a lot for the field of literature, especially in the Urdu literature. He has a deeply observation over both Hindu culture and Urdu culture, and he has combined together and he has formed a new way of writing. And he is the most celebrated personality of the writing field, writer of India. And he is identified as also the Hindi writer of early 20th century because he is born in the year 1880 and died in the year 1936. His students from Nawab Roy to subsequently switched to Premchand. So in the beginning days, whenever he started writing, he used to write under the pen name Nawab Roy, but later on he subsequently switched over to the another name called Premchand, and he has been referred to as the Ubanyas Samrat, which means he is the emperor among all the novelists. These students, his works include more than 12 novels, around 250 short stories, several essays and translation, and the translations were made into Hindi. Students, after seeing the brief introduction about Munshi Premchand, let's move to the center part of the story. That is, before knowing the story, whole story, we must be familiarized with all the characters involved here in the whole of the story. The main person who is involved in the story is Hamid. Hamid is a Muslim name. By knowing that you can understand, but he is only 4 years old boy. He is a beautiful and a loving and caring grandmother. Her name is mentioned in the story, that is Amina. So he is Amina, and he has also got a few friends like Mahmud, Mozin, Noore and Sami. So they are all the very thick friends for him, though he has multitude number of friends. These students, there is no mentioning, you may think that there is no mentioning about the fathers or the mothers or the siblings names of him, but anyhow, actually when he was at the year of 3, his father died of cholera and his mother too left in the very next year. So that is how he lost his family. He was fully looked after, taken care of by his own grandmother, who is none other than Amina herself. She was so loving and caring. Actually, the whole story begins in the form of the very first day, the eve of the day, Eid. There they wanted to go to Eidgah. So they had the grandmother was feeling very sad because realizing their poor economical status, that condition, she was able to console herself, and she was trying to console Hamid also by saying that your mother would pray for you and your father will bring you some gifts for you. So that is how from Allah your mother will bring so many things like that. So that is how the story proceeded. Here at last Hamid is asking his grandmother that dear granny, I would like to take part in the Eidgah celebration where I must have the Eid celebration with all their friends. But his grandma was feeling very sad that she felt a lot in a severe manner. At last she came to the conclusion that okay, let him be sent along with his friends, because all the friends of him, they came to the place fair along with their fathers and mothers and family members, but it was not so in his case. So anyhow, he was taken, he went along with all the friends of him. As he was moving, the whole description is taking place. I have given you this mind map, dear children. In the mind map, I am going to give you the brief introduction about this. The first thing is Hamid. He is a very poor 4 years old boy, and he lived with the grandmother Amina. That is what I told you. And he had to go Eidgah alone because no one was there to help him, any aid for that. So the friends went with the parents. Where all the others went with parents, he was unable to go with their parents because he has no mother and father. So anyhow, all the friends of him took him with them. So after after prayer, when they went there, once the prayer was got over, all of them embraced each other by hugging them, and they were wishing all their greetings to one another. That is how they started their paying the visit to the whole fair. In the fair, they were able to see different kinds of shops, like they had this jewelry shop, they had a sweet shop, the toy shop, and they had also all the things like that. Friends enjoyed merry-go-around. So it has been mentioned in the book that by Munshi Premchand. So if they had enough only one paisa, they are able to go for 25 rounds in the merry-go-round. So in the merry-go-round, you can see that the people will be enjoying a lot, especially all the kids, no? So there will be camels, elephants, horses, monkeys. So they can sit over it and they can enjoy for a whole ride altogether. At least for a single paisa, they can enjoy for 25 rounds. But he was a person who did not have any money. So when all the other friends of him were counting the coins, 1, 2, 3 things like that till 15 or 20, he was unable to enjoy those things. He was unable to eat anything. He was unable to share anything with others. But anyhow, all he had was only 3 paisas. So with those help, he was imagining, he was thinking over what can be offered to the grandmother. So he didn't think about himself, because the whole of the story is portraying Hamid as a selfless 4 years old boy. That is how he was thinking, going on thinking. When all the friends of him, like this Mahmoud, Mohsin, Noor and Sami, they were buying different kinds of toys. So he bought a toy on the cocky policeman who was in the cocky dress with the gun on his shoulder. Mohsin was the boy who bought a water carrier in his hands, and the Noor was the person who bought a toy of a lawyer. So when everybody was trying something, they had also things like that, gulab jam, halwa, and everything they were buying, and they were relishing the whole food, but he was left out. Hamid, he did not have any money, but he had a great heart. The magnanimous heart, the magnanimity also he was showing. So he was going on thinking towards the end. So Hamid he went to a hardware store. He was asking the shopkeeper, may I know what is the cost, what is the price for this? A pair of tongs. Actually tongs is a kind of tool which is used to hold the hard things. So that is what I have mentioned in the picture. You can also see that he is meeting the shopkeeper and he is buying that. After seeing the heap of those tongs, the pair of tongs, he was asking what is the price of it. When the shopkeeper replied that it cost almost 5 paise, 8 paise, things like that, he said, okay, if it is so, could you give me for 4 paise? And he didn't turn there, he went, but the shopkeeper, he was also very kind-hearted person. He called him and he gave him some paisas, and he got paisas. By paying that, he got the amount. He gave back a pair of tongs. Holding that pair of tongs, all the friends of him were looking at him with a strange idea. Why this Hamid has bought something which is very strange, which is useless. It has no connection over the feast or the festival. So, but this Hamid had one thing in his mind, that it must be presented to his own grandmother. He was thinking always that how the pathetical condition of the grandmother when she was handling or when she was cooking the chapatis over that iron pan, rounded pan, hot pan, because whenever she was holding, it burns her finger. So he thought of those things and he immediately bought those things, and he went with hurriedly straight away to his own grandma's house. As he was coming, he was shouting, he was asking for a mamina, granny. Likewise, he was shouting. Hearing the voice of her grandson, immediately she came out and received him, and she presented him with a gift, and she received, and she was astounded. She was astounded to see that, and she was asking, what is this, a pair of tongs? Why? What is the purpose of it? And then what did you do with those amount of money? So the pies is also, you didn't have anything for you. Oh my God. So she was thinking, and the reply of Hamid was really wondering for his grandmother, because the reply was, it went on like that. Dear mother, I happened to see you whenever you were preparing chapatis on the hind pad. I was able to, no, I couldn't help you in any way, so I bought this for you. So after receiving that, his grandmother, she became, extremely happy, and she once again hugged and blessed him by praying to God, Allah. Dear students, keep it in your mind that a selfless act always fetches a great blessing from God. Though he was very poor, outwardly or externally, his external appearance also, the cap he was wearing was tattered, and it was always soiled. When the people, all of the people were going to the Eidgahs in Tonkos or Echoes, or some of them came there in motor cars. He was a person, he go by, on foot, he went on foot, he visited the places. At last, all the friends of him realized that it was his noble act, which was, must have been blessed by God in a grand manner. Dear students, I hope you enjoyed this story. The whole of the story is giving a beautiful lesson that we need to be selfless in our approach. When we are selfless in our approach, God will bless us. That is the message we get from this. And we must also have the great and real respect towards all the people of other religions. When we accept the difference of others, it may be seen in their speech, it may be seen in their food and culture, their dressing code, everything it may be seen, but we must always have the appreciation for the difference or the diversity in opinion. But even if we have got diversity in opinion, we must always have the courage to accept our friends as they are. Students, I hope you enjoyed this session. I have also attached the YouTube link for you. The PowerPoint presentation is given for you, and we have got the special question bank through which you can learn the whole of the story in a multiple choice questions, a 2 mark session, 5 mark session, everything you have got. So separately you can go through it and you can learn for your preparation over the examination. You also given the self-assessment for this along with your parents. You can do it at home with so much of enthusiasm and pleasure. I will meet you in the next session of 7th standard unit 2. Thank you for listening patiently. Thank you one and all.